Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Well, hopefully this goes out without a hitch. What's up, guys? This is your boy Wincus, aka M.C.O.D. And it's that time of the year, folks. And the best part is, we're going live, so any fuck-ups can possibly happen. But, with that said, let's talk about 2017 in music. It was absolutely boring. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I went through all 100 songs, even the songs that were like last year's repeats. 20 of them are on top, like the greatest, at least of this year. Then you go into the ones that were good, just meh. Then you and then you had like the bottom 10, bottom 20, which were stupid as all hell. But then the rest of the year was just boring. Boring techno. Boring rock. Boring trap music, for God's sakes. But that's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is the best, which there really was plenty, and the worst. I'm not here to make any friends. I'm here to be blunt on what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy. Now, since there's nobody here, I'm just going to get started with Butters. Trying to find my recent playlist on my television. Recommended. Yada yada. Continue watching. Recently uploaded. Okay, there's YouTube mixes. Watch it again. There's no way that YouTube does not have a playlist setting on TV. Music, gaming, entertainment, food, trending, yeah, don't care. There needs to be an option for playlists. Subscriptions. Library, here we go. Created playlists. Okay. We're going to start off with the worst. Now, my definition of worst, it may be different from yours, may be different from his or hers. But all these songs, in one way or another, have offended me. Let's start off with number 10. Now, 2017 wasn't exactly the best year for effort. In fact, when it comes to effort, a good portion of it was just comes down to and that was instantly a top 10 hit. There's such a thing, though, as trying too damn hard. And when you do try too hard and you basically turn into, look at me, like, look what I could do. You turn into that little brat from friggin' from Mad TV. God, what was his name? Spencer? I forget the little kid's name, or the adult's name. Ugh. This is what I mean by something going wrong. I need to find my volume. Haha. Hey, I found my volume. So, with that completely said, at number 10, Feel It Still, Portugal the Man. Now, I can understand why critics are all over this song. I mean, it's a nice little indie pop song, indie rock, whatever the hell you want to call it. I call it indie pop. Friggin', it has a nice bass line, a nice melody. And songs like this are heard maybe once or twice a year, with Portugal Man basically joining fellow alumni to the indie clubs such as Walk the Moon, such as The Neighborhood, such as Foster the People, etc., etc. But this song just screams so much like a kid who wants to be a rebel, like a kid who's just like, look at me, look at me. Like, I know I brought that up, but it bears repeating because there's nothing good about this song. It's low because it's not bad, it's not infuriating, but there's nothing good about it. Now I remember why I stopped doing these videos, because whenever I talk about the worst, I usually get caught up in my words and I get angry for no reason. Alright, so with that said, we go to my number 9. Now, I've mentioned on these videos before, if you want to fuck up, you basically have to be an artist that I extremely love, and you have to basically disappoint me as a consumer. And this person I have represented since the very beginning, since they crossed over. You could think crossed over from genre, crossed over from where they're from, but I have represented, not this time, Castle on the Hill, Ed Sheeran. Where do I begin on this? I'm not entirely a fan of the whole I'm homesick genre. In fact, when it comes down to it, it's 50-50. You could have a good song like Philip Phillips' Home, or you could have a bad song like I'm Coming Home from Diddy and Company. The thing is, though, this song checks all the marks of every cliche possible. Unknown romance that supposedly makes him homesick, all these supposed memories from childhood, like, I'm not calling them false, but all these like random memories that it's like has nothing to do with the story he's trying to tell, if there is a story. And then the chorus is just cliche after cliche. Driving real fast just to get home, listening to Elton John. I mean, the number one complaint a lot of people have when they listen to country is, why are they name checking? Why is Jason Aldean mentioning George Jones, I think it was, from Dirt Road Anthem? Why are they mentioning T-Pain in a country song, etc., etc.? And yet Ed Sheeran gets a friggin' pass on this. And then on top of it, this chorus, wait, they're building it up like it's supposed to be this epic feeling. I'm coming home. Well, that's great, Ed. That's real great, but it's not that epic. You come home, you reunite with people. That's it. Okay. For my number 8. Okay, I have mentioned this before. I am not a fan of the whole inspirational anthem. Certain people can do it right. Like, it's 2 years off, I can say this. Rachel Platten's Fight Club was not that bad. However, you have songs like Kelly Clarkson's Heartbeat song. You have songs like Kelly Clarkson's Stronger. You have songs like anything else. And it turns into this whole, I'm a woman. I can roar. I can do whatever I want. And that's great. I am not the demographic. Clearly. But there comes a time when people use the cliches, use the genre, and basically use it for a hit. Scars to Your Beautiful by Alicia Cara is that song. I at least understand or comprehend who she's talking to. I can understand that, again, I'm not the demographic here. But something about this just irks me. Telling the story of this girl who basically has like body image problems, or this girl who just has depression. It's something about it just screams exploitation. And usually I don't mind this. In fact, I'm tired of songs being vague. And I know I'm sounding like a hypocrite right now, but there's something about the way she sings about this person who is not her. And all of a sudden it turns into this, oh, well, look at this person. I feel bad for her, but let's just all get together and tell her that she's okay. And then to top it all off, of all the cliches for her to use, towards the end, I'm not going to play this. In fact, let me just mute this now. Towards the end, it turns into a, God, what do they call it? Not gang vocals. The nobody, y'all know the part I'm watching. Hi there, first person. At the end of the song, when they're going into, like, basically the gang vocals, where it's like, or the bridge, in other words, it sounds so annoying. It's like you could tell she only made this as a hit. She didn't make this as a legitimate song, and that's what pisses me off. For the person that's just joining, I'm talking about my worst for right now. I just barely started the stream about 10 minutes ago. Right now I was just talking about Scars to You're Beautiful by Alicia Cara. Oh, well, the person left. Okay, well, we're off to a good start. Hopefully, once I get to my best, it's like I'll end in a better mood. Okay, for number 7, musicians are like actors. In a sense, they can only do so much with what they are given. And God bless this person. I am still a fan of hers. But God bless this person for trying to get through this garbage. No Promises. Cheat Codes featuring Demi Lovato. I am usually a fan of Demi. In fact, usually this genre fits her. Look at Neon Lights, for God's sakes. Hell, look at Sorry Not Sorry, which was this close to making my top 10 list, but just barely missed it. But this is just so typical. Then this chorus. The DJ randomly inserts himself when Demi is essentially... Nothing about this works. They're attempting to tell a story. Demi's telling one. This chorus is telling another. And then this pointless techno drop. In fact, I can't show the video. Look at this fucking video. They look bored as all hell. Not the people walking, because I'm assuming that's a post-apocalypse. Ooh, you're so edgy. But the artists, Demi and Cheat Codes, they're just looking so bored. They're cashing it in. They're phoning it in. Although I will admit, Demi looks fierce here. I'm not going to bullshit that. And before I go on, that's the one thing that actually makes me upset about this year. Is these songs are pissing me off. But they're pissing me off for reasons I cannot, I can't form words. Because a lot of these songs were just meh. Either they barely got any radio play, or they barely got any play at all. And it's like, I just never really paid attention to them until this time of year. With that said, let's move on. I'm on my number 6. Oh, this is going to be good. Okay, so originally, my number 6 was an entirely different song, but I'll get to that later. Oh, it got pushed up. But imagine what I was just saying right now with Cheat Codes. Where it's just essentially, you're trying to tell the story, but it's not making sense. You're having a pointless techno drop that makes no sense. You have a guest on there who's trying their best, who has done good work. Gee, doesn't this sound like another song from this year? There are so many problems I have with this song. I was, keyword here, was a Coldplay fan. And it's been on and off since 2011. I was a fan of Milo Zelato, if that's how you pronounce it, forgive me. Let me lower it because God knows Chainsmokers have to have this annoying instrumental, which essentially rips off their own song from 2016, Roses, which that was even mediocre at best. But Coldplay, this doesn't make sense. The lyrics. Okay, so you are telling me, personally, I want something like the stories I'm reading. I want to be like Batman with his fists. I want to be out exploring. I want to have these adventures. Okay. What does this techno drop have to do with it? It doesn't. And then to top it all off, it just turns into... I'm forgive me if this is the wrong name. It turns into Chris Martin, the lead singer, basically like whining. It just becomes so annoying. You're gonna hear me say that a lot about this song because it doesn't go anywhere. There's no climax. It's someone wondering about, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but essentially it turns into someone that is too chicken shit to even get out of his house. It's like an escapist song, but instead of there being somewhere to escape, it just puts the idea in a person's head. And if you give a person a problem but with no solution, then really you've done nothing except, like, tell them, hey, guess what? You suck. Okay. Oh, this is going to be fun. And I'm just going to get more pissed off as this chart moves on. Going to my number 5. Again, this was originally my number 4, but we'll get to that. I mentioned earlier, rap has been completely boring. Essentially, hip-hop has died. An auto-tune, trap-filled death. And the only person I could think of to blame for this year was not Kodak Black, because that song was mediocre, was not Migos and Quavo, was not even fucking... I can't even say it. Let's just get this over with. Why? Why did we make this popular? Sincerely. Ooh, there's a beat, and ooh, I can dab. It's like, who gives a shit? Is it these triplets? Is it this flow that magically puts in your mind that, or puts in someone's mind that, oh, he's rapping fast. Maybe he's saying something. Is it this high-pitched whine? Is it the chorus that's basically saying something without actually saying something? Lil Uzi Vert is essentially the hip-hop emo kid, where it does not make sense. There's some emo kid, like, okay, remember back in high school, there was the emo kids that actually knew what the fuck they were doing, where they knew the culture, they knew the fashion, they knew the music. And then you had that one rich kid who essentially was just like, oh my god, I love My Chemical Romance, I'm so emo. No, motherfucker, you are not emo. Get your head out of your fucking ass, stop pretending who the fuck you are, and get on with it. If you're a pompous dickhead, fine. Just be blunt about it. But this bullshit that they're selling us, that's essentially some whiny ass motherfucker over a bass beat. And there were, like I said, there were so many fucking offenders this year. So many. But this is the only song where the guy is essentially trying to piss everyone off. Baby, I don't care if you die. It's like, okay, correction, because I'm ranting here. I don't care if you cry. Sorry. But this song, like I said, everything else was just meh. Well, that was the end of that one, thank God. That's the only great thing about that song. It was short. Now, number 4. This song originally was at number 6. And the reason I put it there is because of the fact that it turned essentially into a game of, well, this is a rap song that pisses me off, but it's not that bad. It's just a dude that misses the point, and we could just move on. And quite frankly, that could go to anyone. I mean, there was 21 Savage with Bank Account, which was actually a decent song. You have Slippery. You have Rake It Up. You had so many rap songs that just was essentially meh. It was basic brag rap. But my number 4 pick went beyond that. It went to the point where essentially this dude just oozes douchebag. I don't even know this motherfucker. I don't want to look up his music. I just want him out of my friggin' ears. And the quicker I get this little review done, the better. I don't know who the fuck you are, Young Cardi. I really don't. Playboy Cardi, Young Cardi, Little Cardi, I don't give a shit. Cart your ass out of here. Wait. Like, see, right here. All your bitches, they loose. They've had so much sex, it's like, whatever, but oh wait. So essentially, wait. So essentially, he just insulted your girl by saying, yo bitch has so much sex. My bitch, she rich. I'm the one that pays her shit. She's just a little hoe. And then proceeds to straight out say that I'm having sex with your chick, as all rappers do, because God knows it's not a song without stealing your fucking bitch. And essentially saying, well, guess what? She's sucking my dick, I'm sucking her clit. It's like, that's fucking great. You don't have to go into fucking details. And then goes into details of other things that we did not need to know. Friggin' supposedly being on the street selling drugs while going out with Ashanti. Oh, that's great. Ashanti's finally relevant in like the first 15 years. Or friggin' what was the lyric he was just saying? Something about, I'm not trying to date a thought because she always plots. Not everyone is after you. Ooh, you have money. So does most of the other fucking people in this world. Yeah, get that motherfucker out of here. Now, the top 3 never changed at all. And number 3 was a song that I was fooled into thinking was good. I was fooled. When I first heard it, ooh, I love the bass. Ooh, he actually might have a good song. Like, I'm so sorry for trashing him. And then I proceeded to listen to the words. Charlie Proof. What the fuck did we do to you? Seriously, I am personally asking. Because what it's coming down to is essentially you went from, oh, I'll be your Superman. I'm just one call away. I'll be the romantic guy. To this, where at first, on surface, it's just talking about a girl who is going club to club, basically looking to have sex, or looking to get drunk or whatever. But what it turns into, if you listen to the words, is, well, wait a minute, you're only at this bar because you knew I'm here. You're only talking to this guy because you know I'd be listening or I'd be looking. Charlie Puth is essentially saying all this girl's actions are because she's still thinking of him. This is some egotistical shit right here. This is not even Shawn Mendes pathetic of, oh, like, I'm giving you a choice here. Let me be the one to rescue you. No, he's straight out saying, I don't need her. See how desperate she is? She's at the party that I'm at. Clearly it was for a reason. And it's the skinny white boy. And what's sad is he is a nice guy. I've seen interviews. I've seen segments with him. He is a nice guy. But songs like this are just douchebag. And no matter how much of a good bass line you have, no matter how many harmonies you put in your song, at the end of the day, and if you keep putting out music like this, you're turning into an egotistical prick. I'm not going to have much to say on my number 2, because, quite frankly, they're going to be one-hit wonders, and, quite frankly, it's the worst rap song that came out this year. Like, there's no questions. I said everything was meh. How the blue fuck does anyone explain this? That's just the calm before the storm. Oh, I hate feeling nasally during the winter. Ooh, all these fine bitches on the boat. Haven't seen that before. Their vocals are so fucking ugh. Essentially, it's the worst brag song. It accomplishes what every brag song does, which is every day we partying, every day we stealing your bitch, every day we spending money. But if you took a shot for every single time they said every day we lit, it's like they're trying to convince someone that they lit. It's like they're trying to convince someone that they're players. Oh, look at that. They threw their mom in the lyrics. Maybe this actually has meaning. Until essentially it comes down to what most rappers' problem is. You're trying to do all these little things and form it into one cluster ball of shit. And it does not work. Ooh, I started from the bottom and now I'm here. I'm just like Drake. Ooh, wait, let me throw in a mom reference. I sound deep. Oh, let me throw in a bitch reference because I have to. It's just... I'm completely fucking speechless right now. Because this is the problem with hip-hop. All the good shit essentially turns into guest spots in Kendrick Lamar. And hot take, even Kendrick didn't do that good this year. Damn was a good album. I'm not gonna bullshit there. For me, it's the weakest one because I've always been fan of To Pimp a Butterfly or Good Kid, Mad City. And then you have his guest verses on See As the Greatest or Don't Want to Know from Maroon 5, and they essentially waste his talents. Hip-hop is not where it's supposed to be. And for me, that's probably the reason why I rank this so high, because yeah, other rappers may do the whole, oh, we're brag rapping, oh, we're so deep and whatever, but you know what, it at least goes with whatever fucking bullshit trend. I may not be a fan of it, but it's going along with something they know is actually working. This doesn't sell to anyone. It sells maybe to people who are listening to this shit while partying. Every day we lit. Every day we lit. And they're looking at the crew. Hey, we're lit. We're lit. But really, who the fuck are you guys convincing? It's like this shit ain't real hip hop. beat drops don't make a hip-hop song. Friggin' ad-libs don't make a hip-hop song. Convince me that you actually give a fuck about what you're telling us. Okay. So, after that long rant, you guys are probably wondering, well, what the hell could be worse than that? This is a personal grudge for me, and I'll completely explain why. The song sucks. And on a normal merit, this would still be bottom 10, but on a normal merit, it's a forgettable song that's maybe number 5 or number 6. In fact, had it been from anyone else, it probably would have been there, and Every Day We Lit would have probably disappointed me the most and been number 1. However, some things just have to be gotten off my chest. Why? Why? It's like, I've mentioned before cliches, especially with Alicia Cara. But, let me turn this shit off because this straight up pisses me off. A little bit of a history lesson for those that are not harmonizers. Fifth Harmony obviously started back X Factor Season 2 US back in 2012. Their first technically hit was back in 2014 with Boss with $2. Woo. And everyone basically gave up on them. Hell, even I gave up on them. Because then their follow-up song was Worth It, which even made my top 10 worst of the list in 2015. But there was still essence of effort there. In fact, I still rock out to their first album, Reflection. I was a big fan. I still bump Like Mariah. I still bump Sledgehammer. Hell, this had Meghan Trainor at her best with God damn it, what's it called? Brave, Beautiful, something. It's a Brave, Proud, and Beautiful or something like that. But what it turns into is all of a sudden, like every girl group, Camila basically has to say, oh well, I'm the one with the most talent, or I'm the one with the most sex appeal. Let me get the solo career. And you know what? For a split second, she had effort. For a split effort, she had that song, I Know What You Did Last Summer with Shawn Mendes. And essentially, it was a good song. In fact, it was one of my top 10 best songs of 2016. Then, Bad Things came out. Now, everyone and their fucking mother is gonna tease on it because of the bad sampling, because nobody knows Machine Gun Kelly's words. Like, seriously, you could ask any fucking person. I think I'm the only one that actually knows the verses, but everyone will just know the chorus. And the only reason why is not just because it's a sample, but because Camila's weakness is her singing. She can't hit certain notes, and it fucking shows. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this can't get any worse. Then halfway through the year, she released Crying in the Club, which thankfully flopped. And you would think, okay, that's the end of her career. A rip-off of Christina Aguilera, after she ripped off, God damn it! I can't think of the rock band at this time. Not Tonic, because that's if you could only see. The point is, she already had 2 samples. She ripped off Christina Aguilera. Boom, it's supposed to be done. then essentially Havana comes out. And I don't know what the fuck they're selling. I don't know whether it's because, oh, she's telling a story. Oh, it sounds like an old school song with the background vocals. Oh my god, it has Young Thug. I don't know what the fuck it is, but this song became one of the fastest hits of this year. I believe it peaked at number 2. I don't think it ever hit the number 1. At least I hope it never hit number 1. But it just was so fucking annoying. And the story, if you could call it a story, is essentially "I Knew You Were in Trouble," which from Taylor Swift, which everyone talks shit about. Oh, and for those of you wondering where "Look What You Made Me Do" is on this worst list, it's not. Essentially, "Look What You Made Me Do," it was mediocre, but it wasn't like offensive. As soon as I heard it, I forgot it. But this song, though, the chorus will stay stuck in your head. The story of her essentially, oh my god, he is such a bad boy. He doesn't need to ask me anything. He just needs to tell me where to go. And I just follow him wherever. And then with him basically doing the basic brag rap shit of, hey, I have this bitch on me. I should just be doing whatever. It's so fucking annoying. In fact, I'm gonna end this, or at least the worst section, with what the fuck is it with Camila and friggin' her little abusive relationships? You have this song, which essentially is like, don't ask any questions, I just want to fuck you right here or fuck you wherever, and she follows. You have Bad Things, where Machine Gun Kelly basically tells her, well, I knew you were going to come back. It was only a matter of time, so let's just fuck. As she's even saying, am I out of my head? Am I out of my mind? Essentially saying she's like the victim of a goddamn abuse. Alright, I'm going to go check on my boyfriend, and then when I get back, I'll probably be streaming the best, because I got nowhere to go. So, until, I'd say in a few minutes, peace out, y'all.